Five, four, three, two, one. Okay, um, this time I'm recording a video, so don't mind my hair or anything. It always looks like this, hella nappy and stuff. But today I wanted to talk about a topic that pertains to only me. I'm sure a lot of people have done this, but in me, or like in my case, I think it's like a big part of who I am and just reflection stuff that I was just thinking about. And that is how I fumbled a bag on YouTube, but I'm very thankful for it. So, as you know, in this year of our Lord, 2021, YouTube is a big, mega platform. And it's changed so much from when it was launched back in, I don't know, 2005, 2006. But, you know, there are ads now, there's celebrities on YouTube, like Will Smith and all these things. But I was back on YouTube even before I started making videos like this one. Like, I would say, I remember, like, I want to say like 2006, 2007. I was on YouTube and yeah, so about 2006. And I remember at the time, all I used to really watch on YouTube was Naruto. Because I remember Naruto was popular on TV, but it would only come on like Fridays or something. Yeah, Bionics YTV. And I caught up and I wanted to know what would happen next. And this is before I knew about, well, I knew about manga because of Shonen Jump, but I didn't have, but like back then, the only way you could really access it is if you bought Shonen Jump, and I was broke. So I used to watch the Japanese sub anime on YouTube. And I'm pretty sure there was other stuff I watched too. Like I know like I got into Smosh when I was younger and uh Ryan Higa and stuff like that. So like I was on YouTube for quite a while. And around this time also was the time of the Nintendo DS. And I was a big fan of this show. A couple shows. One show in particular, or two shows in particular, Bakugan and Daigata Defenders. And this would skyrocket my claim to fame, I guess you could say, because I remember, I think I didn't realize this, but I've always been creative and all these crazy ideas in my head. I've always had a big imagination. I had imaginary friends, which scared my sister and my cousin because they watched Motel 46 or whatever there was. The one where the kid had an imagination and who was the one killing people. So when I told my sisters that I had an imaginary friend, this was completely harmless. You know, I think it was because I was the only boy. I had like all sisters, and all my cousins were girls too. And it wasn't until I was like what 16 till I got another boy in the family because the only other boy on my dad's side, he lived in Africa, so I only saw him at Christmas. So I've always had this really big imagination, and now um, my sister had a video camera, and what was so iconic about this video camera, this is before you could plug cameras in and recharge them. So what she got was this special camera that you could take pictures and you could record. But what she got was rechargeable batteries. I think back in the day this was a game changer. Because back in the day all you could do was buy batteries, and once the batteries run out you have to buy new ones. And especially me, like I said earlier, I couldn't even afford to buy Shonen Jumps, which was like, I don't know, $10, $20 back in the day, or even like a $54 a year subscription. So, having these rechargeable batteries, and my sister didn't always use this camera. She was working at school. So, me being a young kid, I was home a lot. And if I wasn't outside playing soccer or riding my bike, I was watching TV. And also, I made YouTube videos. And now, of course, back in the day, they're like, oh, never use your real name, never show your address and stuff like that. No stranger danger. So these videos, they never had my face in it. But I remember I had one video, Pyrus versus Pyrus, which is going back to Bakugan, because I had Bakugan cards, and Bakugan was the thing. And I also had a gargoyle that I had made in like, maybe this wasn't 2009. It's maybe like 2009 or something. But anyways, because I'm just doing the math in my head. But anyways, so this gargoyle that I made, and it kind of looked, it was very ugly, but it kind of looked like a Bakugan because, they were all dragons and monsters, and this one had wings and everything, and it was very ugly. But I made this video of Pyrus versus Pyrus, and I don't know what possessed me, but like basically there was these two, like my Bakugan was trying to fight my gargoyle, and then the gargoyle won. And then what I did was I recorded it, and then I took a hammer, I had like a plastic baseball bat, and I smashed the Bakugan, and they went flying. And I think that got me like 800, 900 views. And like I said, this was the time of the DS. So there was this one show that I loved, Daigata Defenders. And this show had a video game. And so I beat this video game. But what I realized, because I guess I was kind of smart, like when I was trying to beat the video game, nobody was doing reviews for this game. So I did the Daigata Defenders game, part 1. And this video got like 8.9K views. And I don't know about you, but I think for when it was released, like 13, 14 years ago, like even 1,000 views was crazy. Now, people are doing millions and billions, so it's like kind of nothing. But for me, being so young, I think it was crazy because having garnered that much, and YouTube partnership was still in its infancy. So off of this, I got a YouTube partnership because of, I think, those couple videos that I did. I also did like Pokemon Emerald and other stuff like that, which got like 100, 200 views, which was not a lot compared to like my two biggest videos, but it was also pretty good for what it was back then. And after that, I fell off. I don't remember what happened, if my sister took the camera back for me or she needed it or like the camera stopped working. But basically, I stopped making videos. And it was like for a couple of years, I would say. And when I started making videos again, was when I had my own laptop and I had my own camera. But YouTube changed so drastically by then. There was already like big names in YouTube, and there was MCNs. Sorry, there are big names. There's MCNs. So I think I could not ride the wave, and I was also really young, so I didn't really understand what's going on. Like I still watch YouTube every day, and especially back then, I watched YouTube every day. So I was seeing the things that was happening and how YouTube was changing, but I just wasn't a part of it. I had my own things to worry about, at school and friends and all these other teenage angst. Like I spent a lot of time like on YouTube and Tumblr. And I don't remember what year it was, but I'm pretty sure everyone that is on YouTube or was around watching YouTube this time, we all know about the ad apocalypse with, all these advertisers leaving because, there's ISIS beheadings and there's freaking ads playing for it. So there's this mass exodus. Yeah. The video froze on my end. So if there's like a minute or so of the video frozen, sorry about that. So basically what I wanted to get to, my point was, I'm very thankful that YouTube didn't work out for me. And now I'm trying to do it as an adult where I kind of know, or or understand better who I am and what I want to do. Because back then, I'm looking back, being my big self now, and thinking the kind of person I would be if I had garnered that kind of YouTube attention. Because I think, and I've read so many stories about, Justin Bieber, where like all yes men, and no one ever told him no. So that's why he went crazy, and his drug binges, drunken drinking and driving and all that kind of crazy stuff, because he had everything given to him. And then we've seen so many times like Disney stars like Demi Lovato going crazy. Um, you know, what stardom does to children, like Michael Jackson or Macaulay Culkin. And of course, some people can recover for it, but not everyone does. And it's really funny because on my Instagram, for the last little while, I've just been posting my Facebook memories, because also as a stupid kid, I was like 9, 10 on Facebook, because before the boomers took over, it was a cool way you could tag your friends and stuff, and you just like pages just because Facebook was weird back then. But yeah, and I'm seeing the things that I would post and say on YouTube as a kid with my big family, seeing this, and it's probably like, what is going on? And now I realize that if I had had not only a YouTube following, but like, or whatever the perks that I would get from YouTube, my life would have been drastically different. And the person who I was back then, I was very arrogant, because the thing is, I'm not bragging, but I've always been smart. And I didn't always know I was smart. Because the thing was, when back in grade 1 or whatever, I got an F. And I thought the F was in math or whatever, which like killed my confidence, and I thought I was stupid. But when I looked back when I was younger, it's like my F was in penmanship, and my handwriting is kind of bad still to this day. Like, I have to really slow down for my handwriting to be decent and very legible. But my handwriting is very bad, and that one F that I got, it tore me up, because I thought that one F just meant I was stupid and whatever. But the weird thing is, if I looked at my rest of my report card, I don't think all my other grades were like B's and A's, and I was like an exemplary kid because I never talked. I was quiet, so I never caused problems. But I carried that F for so long. And then it wasn't until like grade 6 when I had a really cool teacher, Miss Taylor, and she kind of showed me and proved to me that I'm not stupid. I was very smart, which was cool. And then throughout middle school, people like my family or my family friends would tell me I'm smart, but don't let it go to my head. And so, kind of going back to this whole Facebook memories thing, like I used to just post things and I would think, man, that was it. Like, one thing I posted like the other day, which everyone like laughed and said it was funny, but thinking back then when I posted it, I must have thought that I was a genius. And what I posted was, doing the right thing is so hard sometimes, so just do the wrong thing. Which is like kind of funny and kind of childish, and I guess it could be deep if you were really trying to do something about it. But imagine being like 11, 12, posting that, and you're like, yo, that's the next ting, fam. Like, what I just said was bars, fire. And that was the kind of mentality I had. I thought that because I was smart, everyone else was stupid and they didn't know what they were doing, especially the people my age, which to a point, I kind of know the people my age, or I knew who they were, and I kind of know people now. And I think I kind of had a couple things, or understood things. I was a little bit wiser, but that doesn't mean that but I think I equated my wisdom, or my, at least having understanding a couple things better, as me being better, which I think is a natural thing. Especially a lot of things like if you're a kid and you get told you're smart or you're good at football, you're gonna take that to the grave, especially having an ego. And my ego before was huge. I thought because I was smart, I was untouchable, and that I'm surrounded by idiots, and the people who don't like me is because they're stupid too, that kind of thing. It was this whole thing. And although I was likable, like I had friends and everything, that didn't stop me from taking all these things that were in my head and then translating it into I'm better. Like I could do a whole story on like when I graduated middle school and went to high school, and I saw what the people in my middle school were doing because, well, once again, back at Facebook, and I just heard rumors of what was going on there. I like made a Facebook group and was just attacking these younger grades. And to be fair, I think I might have got some things right, but like, who was I and why did I care? I was in high school. I shouldn't be bothering myself with the people who are younger than me and stuff like that. But those things happened. And, you know, I even look back at some of the photos I posted on Facebook when I was in grade 9, like, and all those like light skin squint and whatever, biting my lip, thinking I was the hottest thing. And it wasn't until grade 11 where something happened and my head got turned, and I kind of realized that I think I started becoming more of who I am today, where I was kind of a pessimist, but I was very skeptical and I didn't trust people. And not that that's a good thing, but I needed to do those things and needed to deflate my ego and actually having some wisdom and understanding that just because you know or you understand something doesn't make you better, which I don't necessarily think like I was here and everyone else was down here. But as a kid, I would think that what the mindset I had was not healthy, and I would get there eventually. But if I had stayed on that same path, I would think that I was a king, I was a god, whatever, and then everyone else was peasants and they're stupid, and that only the people that I would think are on the same level are worthy and everyone else is just garbage. And I stopped thinking like that, and I'm glad I stopped thinking like that, because even things like university, like once again, being told that you're smart and whatever is one thing, but then when I went to my university, U of T, or UTM, whatever, if you want to be technical, because some people don't like when you say the same thing, but whatever. But when you go to a school where everyone is smart, it's like kind of like, so what? Like my professors always say, yeah, we know you're smart. That's why you got here. But that doesn't mean you're going to graduate or pass this class. You have to give us that so what. And that's kind of like what my life is like now. It's kind of like a so what. And it's crazy too, even now, because I watch a lot of YouTubers that have been doing YouTube for like 10, 12 years. And I've been following them for either a majority of that time or even recently, and just hearing like Kingsley, him being his overexposed and all his thing, and coming back now, even like last year when he was trying to do videos and saying he was recovered, but then he stopped, and then now he's starting to do videos again, and he's saying how being a YouTuber and doing the things that he used to do really hurt him, which kind of goes back to what I was talking about before, where all these things were going on and we were thinking that all of this was helping us, and all this fame and this clout made us these great people, when in reality it distorted reality for us. And I'm pretty sure when you look at the TikTokers now, like the 16, 17 year olds or the 13 or whoever who are famous now, in like 5 to 10 years, if they're still alive or even creating, because we know some people just disappear, never to be seen again. But those that do survive, they're gonna have a story to tell, and it's gonna sound a lot of reminiscent of these child stars or these YouTubers that the mind state and the popularity that they have now went to their head and it destroyed them. And maybe some of them will not make it back from that. So I just want to say I'm so glad that I fumbled my bag. That even though I was a broke university student, I would have loved to have YouTube money, and I would have loved to have invested in crypto and all these other things that I could have done if I had kept making videos and making money, and then I wouldn't have to have worked. But I'm glad that I worked 4 years at McDonald's and all these other jobs that I've had, because it's taught me something. And I think the life lessons and experience and all the bullshit that I went through wouldn't have been possible if I had not done that. And who I am today talking would not be, I guess, would be as well rounded as I think I am, because, it's my perception. I could be wrong. But the person who I am today, I know for a fact to get here would have not been possible if I had garnered all that attention. And that's all I really had to say. So I want to say thank you to whatever it was that stopped me from making those YouTube videos after I blew up. Thank you for YouTube for dropping my partnership. So now I can actually work to be authentic. And if I never blow up again, I just gonna do this because I think it's cool. I like having a podcast and just giving my totally biased opinions, or grains of salt, because that's the name of my podcast, and just giving my opinion, and you can take whatever I say with a grain of salt, because it's just an opinion. Because with echo chambers and super liberal, no one's really objective. It's either my way or the highway. All these destructive things, cancel culture, all these things that are affecting the world right now. And we have to wait another like 10, 20 years until, because the internet has been so instrumental, and it's so damn, I have really been out of school for a year, because I would know all the buzzwords to describe the internet, like Web 2.0, how it was instrumental, and it exponentially changed how we do things. But you know what I'm saying. You're on social media, you understand how things have changed and how people aren't what they used to be, like even 10, 20 years ago. So I'm glad that all this happened, because now I can be who I really am. And hey, even the person that I am today, if I'm still making videos in like 5 years, is not going to be the person there. I'm going to have different perspectives, and I might even talk down on who I am today. But I just want to say that I'm glad that I never got to a pinnacle, because then I would have plateaued, and who knows where I would be now. I definitely wouldn't be the person I am today. But thank you for watching. If you've watched this far, I appreciate you. But remember, Black Lives Matter, Free Palestine, and another thing, just before I close, is just another. I've realized that also with the internet being so ubiquitous, it seems like every day there's another issue, another crime against humanity going on, like Stop Asian Hate and stuff like that. So we can't be there for it all. And if you don't want to be on social media because it hurts your mental health, I just think you should fight for things that you can control. Like, don't stop activism because you can't fix everything. Just fix what you think is in your power and that you believe in, because there always will be people fighting. So if you can't fight for every cause, that's okay. Just fight for what you think you can handle. But that's all I have to say today. God bless and peace.